I'm Marco D'Angelo. Welcome to another Kentucky Derby preview from Wager Talk TV. Today, we're going to be previewing Catching Freedom. If you want to make sure not to miss any of our Kentucky Derby previews, hit the subscribe button right now. You will be notified every time we release a new video, especially next week when we release our big Wager Talk Pony Pundit show, where we will go in in-depth detail on the race, betting strategies, and who we think is actually going to win the Kentucky Derby. And you can also follow me on X at Marco in Vegas. Guys, not only do I bet horses, I also own, breed, and race them. I've been doing this since 1989, so I know the business inside and out, and I'm going to share my thoughts with you on the different horses here. Now, these previews are talking about individual horses, their strengths and weaknesses, and what they need to do to be able to win this race, or if I think they can. Again, we will have a much more detailed video. It's actually a full show, the Pony Pundit show, coming up the week of the Derby. Now, let's take a look at Catching Freedom. He earned 125 points on the road to the Kentucky Derby. His trainer is Brad Cox, and the jockey is Flavian Pratt. This was a $575,000 purchase as a yearling. He's had 5 career starts, 3 wins, and a third. He's brought back $802,000 in earnings. So the owners got their money back already. Catching Freedom's running style is he is a closer, basically a stone cold closer. He comes from out of the clouds. That is going to be a little bit of a problem in the Derby, and I'll explain in a minute. But he is coming into the Derby improving in every race. His speed figures are improving, and this is a horse, just like Sierra Leone, who is a deep closer, is going to need to have some help in the race. And by help, I mean if you are a horse that's racing from behind, you need honest fractions during the race. If they go slow at the beginning of the race, the first half mile, it's tough for a closer to make up all of that ground. You need an honest pace. I think we will see an honest pace in this year's Kentucky Derby. The second thing that you got to worry about with a closer is traffic. Guys, this is going to be a 20-horse field. And you're racing from behind, and this horse generally is in the last couple horses in the field. So he's going to have to navigate through almost the entire field. That can present some problems because when you're making your move, you're rolling, and then all of a sudden you come up on the back of a slower horse. Well, sometimes you can't just navigate to the left or right. There might be a horse to the side of you, and you have to tap the brakes. In horse racing, we call that you have to check your horse. That means the jockey has to grab the reins to pull the horse down so he doesn't run up over on the other horse. Now, as slight as that may seem, it loses the horse's momentum. These are not automobiles. They don't start and stop on the dime. So if you do have to check your horse, you lose a lot of momentum. The other thing that you can do, people say, well, just stay on the outside and avoid the traffic. Yeah, except you're giving up too much ground. If you go through both turns wide, you've got to be a super horse to compensate for all of the extra ground you're traveling. That's the problems that you have with the closer. We've seen in the last 4 years, we had 2 horses win on the front end. We saw it with Authentic in 2020, and we saw it with Medina Spirit in 2021. Both of those horses got to the lead, got left alone, went modest fractions, and nobody was able to catch them. But then we saw in 2022, Rich Strike, they had basically suicide fractions on the front end. A couple horses got locked up in a speed duel, and it set up for the closers. And Rich Strike came from dead last to light up the tote board. So looking at Catching Freedom, I feel he will be flying at the end of the race. I just don't know that he's going to be able to reach. And prediction-wise, I don't think he can win this race, but I do think you have to use him on your exotics. You know, the exactas and trifectas, have him on your ticket underneath because he definitely can run on the ticket. And I think he'll be a decent price, even though he should be one of the horses considered in the top 5. You've got 2 horses that are going to take the bulk of the money, in my opinion. That's going to be Fierceness and Sierra Leone. That's going to leave this horse at a decent price, which we want decent price horses on our ticket for that big payday. All right, guys, if you enjoyed this video, do me a favor, give me a thumbs up. Really appreciate it. It helps the channel. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button. You won't miss any of the videos. And special note, if you're not good at handicapping the horses yourself, check out my Kentucky Derby package at wagertalk.com. It sells for $39. But since you watched this video, write down this coupon code. Derby 10. That's Derby 10, the number 10, and you will get $10 off that package. A few years ago, we advised our clients, we invested $390 in the Kentucky Derby. We brought back over $9,000 that day with our selection. So check it out over at wagertalk.com. I appreciate you guys taking the time to watch this video. Until next time, let's cash some tickets.